What's up guys, Kyle here again, and today we are checking out the brand new Northern Mauler Glenn Fricker's signature distortion pedal from Revv. Let's do it! Alright guys, hope you're doing great out there today. If this is your first time here at my channel, my name is Kyle, and what I do is I take awesome high gain amps, guitars, cabs, speakers, pickups, overdrives, I record them with a simple SM57 setup, and I give you guys the unprocessed audio on your end. And sometimes I leave out letters for my words. So if you're into E-standard thrash riffs, drop C hardcore riffs, and dudes who can never quite get their lighting right, you're in the right place. Consider hitting the like button and subscribing on your way out so you don't miss any more of my stuff. Thanks! Alright guys, so today we are checking out the brand new Revv Northern Mauler distortion pedal. This is the Glenn Fricker signature pedal, and if you're not familiar with Glenn and you're watching YouTube videos, then I find that really hard to believe. Glenn is of course the man who is behind Spectre Media Group, Spectre Sound Studios. He has a very popular YouTube channel on basically home studio production as well as metal guitar tones. And it appears that Glenn and Revv have teamed up to bring you a brand new distortion pedal. So what the Northern Mauler is essentially a pedal with two different sides to it. On one side, you have basically a standard distortion pedal, which according to Derek at Revv is kind of like a combination between the Revv G3 and G4 pedal. A lot of you guys are gonna be familiar with that pedal because it is very, very popular in the pedal preamp world. And what they have kind of done is taken the overall saturation and thickness of the G4 and kind of combined it with the modern mids of the G3. At least that's kind of what I'm hearing from my ear, because it has a little bit of both pedals DNA in it. And then over on this side, they have actually given you the opportunity, I guess it's an opportunity, they have given you the option to blend in sort of an HM2 style distortion or voicing to the existing voicing of the distortion side of the pedal over here. So again, if you're familiar with Glenn, one of his whole things is kind of finding your own sound, standing out from the crowd, not doing the standard 5150 through the Mesa cab with the vintage 30 and an SM57 on it. You know, the same thing that I do for all of my amp demo videos. He is really about kind of breaking the mold, trying new things, figuring out what is going to really change up your sound and set you apart. So it really comes as no surprise to me that they have kind of added a different section to this pedal to make it sound not just like your average distortion pedal, but to kind of give it some true character and the ability to dial in something that's not gonna sound like every other distortion pedal out there. Not that the G3 does, the Revv has a very distinct voicing in my opinion, but still, you've got even more ability to dial in something unique with the blend side of the pedal, giving you that kind of gnarly, grimy voicing. So with that being said, we're gonna jump into this pedal, but before we do that, I just wanted to let you know that Revv did send me this pedal, but they didn't send it to me and, you know, in exchange for a video. They literally just sent it to me. They said, here, check this out. Let us know what you think. I am making the pedal completely on my own accord. I am not being paid for this video, but I just wanted to be fully transparent with you guys that Revv did send the pedal to me. But as always, you're gonna get my honest thoughts and opinions, so please keep that in mind. So for that intro clip, we were using my Balaguer Typhon here with the USA Hypernova pickup. This is a ceramic mid-output kind of modern style pickup. And in front of the pedal, we were actually boosting it with the Boss MX77 Overdrive, one of my favorite overdrives, and it reacted really well to having an overdrive out in front of it for a pedal distortion. But we were going from the pedal into the Seymour Duncan Power Stage 200, and then here, just to see how it fares with a tube amp, I've got a good old-fashioned 5150. We're going into a Mesa traditional 412 with the Mesa Vintage 30s, SM57, straight on that Vintage 30. All right, guys, so we've got the blend in the middle here. I'm gonna turn literally all the EQ controls back to noon. I'm gonna put the gain down to 9 o'clock. and the bite and the growl I'm also gonna put at noon. We have the blend in the middle, so really this should be kind of like a 50-50 of both sides of the pedal. All right, so what happens when we dial it? First of all, let's get some more gain on this. Let's put it right up to about 11 o'clock. All right, it seems significantly quieter. All right, so we are getting a little bit more saturation out of it. Let's see adding some bite. Let's see what that does to the signal. Kind of acts like a presence control, I would say, overall. We've got a decent bass response, but what happens when we add a little treble? Okay, so the combination of those two makes it pretty bright. Let's pull back the bite and the treble. Let's see what happens when we bump those mids up. It kind of broadens the mids out. It adds a very wide range of mid frequencies to the overall signal. Let's bump some bass up. All right, so that did add a little bit of low end. What happens when we pull it kind of over to the left here? Let's put it at 9 o'clock so we're over on the other side of the pedal. I don't even know what to call it. We're on the bite and growl side. All right, and let's dial it up to 3 o'clock. Woo, that is hot. All right, so it's definitely a little louder when we come over to this side. Let's pull this mid back. All right, so very mid forward on that side of the pedal. Let's bring it down to about 11 o'clock here. That seemed a little bit more balanced to my ears. Let's add some growl. I believe that this is kind of like a, almost like a depth control. All right, so the bite kind of seems to add more of like a weird upper mid thing, whereas the treble is the treble. Let's go ahead and bump that gain up even more. Let's get it up to 1 o'clock. All right, so it's a little bit kind of bloated on the low end. Again, let's see how it reacts to an overdrive out front. I'm gonna kick on that MXR M77 again. A lot more bite and aggression. Let's pull that treble in the mid back a little bit. Let's add some bass. Woo! That's got some aggression to it. It's nice and bitey. I'm digging how it's sounding. Let's get a little bit more growl on here. Let's actually get a little bit more gain too. Let's get some saturation. All right, so now it's got kind of like a guttural thing going on. I dig it. aggressive, maybe almost a little bit too much in that upper mid area. Let's pull the bite back a little bit. That's kind of bringing those upper mids back a little bit too. All right, so it sounds good like that. What happens when we put it into the loop of the 5150? Let's see how much that changes the sound, the tone, the feel, if any at all. Very curious. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, honestly, it translates into the tube amp just great too. Seems to be a little less of those scratchy high-end frequencies actually. What happens when we pull this blend all the way over to the left here? Except for, let's go all the way to the left and let's bump it up just a little bit. I like it on the left side better, personally. That sounds really cool. Let's bump that growl up, get a little bit more low end out of it. All right, so that's very aggressive and kind of has like a guttural thing going on. Reminds me of my band Hellsent that I used to do vocals for. It's got kind of like a gnarly tone going on. All right, so what happens when we dial it more over to the right-hand side? Definitely becomes more modern, much more mid-forward. It gets a little louder too. Definitely takes a lot of the low-end grunt away though. Let's put the growl up a little bit more. Of course, with the growl, you know, with the blend being over to the right, or I guess over to the left, it's gonna have less of an effect. These two controls on the left here will have less of an effect the more you turn this past noon, the blend that is, because you're gonna be getting more of this signal over here. So let's turn the bass up on this side of the pedal. All right, we still got plenty of low end to go around. Let's turn that bite up a little bit. Didn't really seem to do much. Let's turn the treble and the mids up a little bit. That is like turning the volume up of the pedal significantly. Let's turn the volume down a little bit. Very much that Revv, again, that kind of weird modern upper mid thing going on. Let's turn the blend even more to this side. And the further you get to this side, the louder the pedal gets again. What happens if we still turn the bite up quite a bit? That's a tone that I think actually sounds really cool. Let's go back up a little bit to drop D. So this is a really gnarly pedal, man. This thing is gonna cut in a mix like crazy. It's got a lot of really angry mids going on. It also has a low mid grunt to it. Really cool sounding pedal. Last but not least, let's put it a little bit more towards the middle. What happens when we scoop these mids out? Can we kind of get that scoopy, just really guttural type tone out of it? That is what an HM2 sounds like right there. We've got the bite pretty much all the way up. The growl is up quite a bit. We've got those mids pulled down. Let's actually get a little bit more gain on it and just make this thing sound grimy as hell. All right, guys, that is gonna do it for me today on the Revv Northern Mauler Glenn Fricker signature pedal. What did you guys think about this thing? What did you hear on your end that I did not hear on my end? Because of course, going through the SM57 and into your listening device is gonna sound a little different than it sounds here in the room, but I'm really curious to see what you guys think about the tones that I was able to get out of this pedal. Please make sure to leave it down in the comments and I'll meet you down there to chat about it. At the time of filming this, I actually don't know what the pedal's gonna cost. I would assume it's gonna be somewhere between $230, $250 US dollars, but I will make sure to reach out to Revv and get that price for you so I can throw it up on the screen here, belligerent amateur style, and I will also make sure to put a link down in the description and in the comments of this video for you to purchase this pedal, as the pedal is now available. And if you want to support what it is that I do here, down in the description of this video also are going to be my affiliate links like Sweetwater, where you will be able to purchase this and other fine Revv products. It doesn't cost you anything extra to purchase through my Sweetwater affiliate link, but I do get a little kickback, so it greatly helps the channel move forward and I really appreciate it. Thanks again to Revv for sending this pedal out for me to check out, and yeah, really looking forward to hearing what you guys think about it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Kyle here again. We'll see you next time.
You know what this wall is missing? Another amp. There we go.